pledge for tonight. Everybody had a chance to look over the minutes that Don sent out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a motion to pass the minutes. You guys ready?
Got a motion. Go ahead. Got a motion to second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody had a chance to look over the claims, Don said?
Yes.
Yep.
Move to approve, Dave.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Got a motion second. Any other discussion on claims? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Old business.
A couple of the places cleaned up around town, it looked like. Not great, but they still got cleaned up.
They're not done.
Not done.
You got a hold of them, didn't you, Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Thank
a
you.
letter went out to Kathy Dice on her property there on Broadway. So
Good.
Guys, he's still not mowed. He's not cleaned up the limbs. He put the titles in the vehicles. I had them towed to Pettis and Chevyville. And Smith's moved stuff around, but it's still laying there. He's working on it. So
Well, under old business, last week Don brought up how far you wanted to pay Brad back for the work he's done on this, and I thought about it and thought he worked on the iPads and we got him. I think he worked on your computer putting it together, didn't he, Henry?
yeah.
So I mean, he's pretty well been doing our IT since the first of the year. So I don't have any problem paying him back the first year unless you guys have a problem with that.
He's been working on this since then. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Me too.
So we need a motion, Don, or?
Don, turn your speaker on.
How's that?
That's better.
Better.
So you got a motion to do that or
So
Go ahead.
moved.
second?
Who made the motion?
Christie.
Kristen,
I'll second.
got a second? Ralph, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any other old business? New business?
new business on the agenda was Henry with Gleaners on Friday.
Oh, geez.
Yes. Kenny Ramsey from Bungie stopped me. They are going to do it Friday. They want to borrow town's barricades for the church parking lot. And then they want help staging the vehicles at the high school. And nobody is allowed out of their vehicles. The National Guard, they're going to do like a drive up, open up the door, and the National Guard's going to put the food in the vehicle and they drive off. So they want help with the with traffic, which I can do, but they want to borrow barricades to seal that parking lot off.
Don't have a problem with that.
Everybody all right with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Don, can you get the barricades in?
Yes, sir. We'll take care of it.
Super.
Any other new business? Okay, Don.
The old pump house on Broadway. Run into a couple issues there. SRF needs to have an environmental clearance on that property before we can do anything with it. So that's slowed us down a little bit. The other issue we have is that if you look on GIS, it shows that property is owned by the railroad. But back in 1970, when we did the first water project, when we put up the new water tower and put up plant 1, that must have become an issue also, because we found a letter where the town attorney at that time sent a letter to the Chesney system concerning that piece of property. And they informed the attorney at that time that they had no claims to that property. And there has to be an error somewhere. Now, due to the fact that the courthouse is closed, I can't get in there to go back to 1978 to see something with that, nor the same way we have a lockbox at the bank. There could be something in that lockbox, but because of the fact that they've got to sterilize when I come in and sterilize when I leave, I've elected to hold off on doing that, hoping maybe sometime next month things will open back up and I can go down and look and also get in the lockbox. Same way with the property where the water tower sets in Plant 1. We purchased that from Harlan Long, and I've been trying to find the deed. And all this stuff has to do with the asset planning that Westler's working on for SRF. But I know there's a deed, because I used to have one. And here again, it could be in a lockbox also. But if and when the courthouse or the annex opens back up, so I can go to the recorder's office, then I'll hunt those up. That kind of takes care of Broadway Street. I sent each one of you a copy. You asked me to talk to Westler about this water loss audit report that's due in August. And they sent me a contract, and I emailed each one of you a copy of that contract. They didn't think it would exceed $6,000. I have no idea what we paid back years ago. But anyway, it's something that has to be done. Somebody's got to do it. And you don't have the resources in-house to do it. So I'd hope that you can go ahead and prove that. But that's
Well, we got to have it done, so I'm going to make a motion, go ahead and go forward with it.
Got a
Yes,
motion.
Mark, is the contract all right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Who's the second?
I'll second the motion.
Ralph's the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-0?
Yeah.
You didn't get out your paddles.
Hey, Don, can I interrupt just 1 second? The courthouse is closed to the public. However, they're in there working every day. So if you call the recorder's office, they might be able to look that stuff up for you. Well, then you physically don't have to go in there. I would call them first. So that can,
Yeah, they could email it to you.
yeah, yes. Make your life a lot easier.
I will do that.
And I have their number if you need it, or if you know.
I've got it.
Okay.
Also, via email, I sent each one of you a copy of the fund statement for the month of the end of March. Books are closed for the end of March. Fund statements were still in decent shape. At this point in time, I have no concerns. I just got April's draw from the county, and we still got a full amount of Racino money, although I'm sure that next month we probably will not get the full amount. But anyway, everything else looked all right. And at this stage of the game, I feel pretty confident that we'll weather the storm.
Good.
Each one of you have a copy of the bank reconciliation and stuff in your box. It's too many pages for me to send by email, so I just put a copy of it in your box. Unless you want me to send it to you.
That's good. I'm good with it.
I'm fine.
That's fine.
I have a question for Mark and Don Smith. I know you've been looking at or working on that easement out at Ridgeland for the nursing home and Cypress Run. I ran across 2 copies, 2 different easements are out there that comes off of Abbey Court. And those easements have been recorded. Is that for that water line, or does anybody know?
Can you email that to me, Don? And I'll see I'll take a look at it and see where it goes. I think all the legal is done on that, though. Isn't that right, Mark?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Email me a copy. I'll take a look at it too. We can work together, Don.
Okay. Sounds good.
But Powell did the survey, and they're both recorded and they're signed. So
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, we're just on hold right now till we get through this pandemic thing. So
that's all I have.
Mark?
I've got a couple things in addition to what's on the agenda. An issue came up last weekend that Henry had been up to the manor, and also Cypress Run. In the we had some questions whether he should be tested or not, and he agreed to be tested. And so we called. We didn't know where to go at that point, so we called Jack Horner, and he got us into a test on Washington Street the very next day or the day after. Saturday morning, wasn't it, Henry? And
Well, they said it'd be 3 or 4 days before I got the results, that it would be smart to go to Lily's, so I drove up to Lily's.
But anyway, we had a lot of cooperation from Major Hospital and Jack Horner, and I want to thank him publicly for his assistance with Henry doing this. Larry was also at risk a little bit. We know what problems that we've had up there at the manor in Cypress, and so we just, everybody's be careful going up there and be safe. The second issue that came up, and Henry can speak more to it, but there is an employee that has a medication, maybe addiction, maybe not, but anyway, it's an issue that I think that we need to discuss at some point. And so if anybody has any objection, or I like to call an executive session for some time, either this week or next week. Tammy, do you want to speak to that issue too?
Yeah, I'm trying to do some research on the medication, the dosing amount, what is acceptable levels, what is not. It could interfere with some aspects of this person's job, so it's probably definitely something we need to talk about and make some decisions on, maybe talk to the employee and get some clarification. I do think an executive meeting is probably our best option, so we can be pretty open about it without hurting this person's reputation or livelihood. So, but something we definitely, I think we need to talk about.
Yeah, Henry, you want to describe what the situation without using
He
names?
had some medication taken out of his house, large quantity, his medication and his wife's medication. The only thing is the amount of medication that he takes per day. I know that on a bottle with half of what he takes, it says that you're not allowed to operate heavy machinery. And with it being a town employee, the liability of it, I'm passing it on so somebody else takes the responsibility of what's going on.
So I think it qualifies for a executive session at some point, maybe next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. That's the way we do it sometimes, but doesn't matter to me, whatever group wants to do.
How are we going to have the executive session, Mark? Are we going to get in a room, or are we going to, you don't want to do it over the air, do you?
Well, as long as nobody comes in on the, we won't tell him, or we won't let anybody in on the Zoom except for us.
Brad did say he could set us up on a Zoom meeting and then he would disconnect himself from it, so it would just be us. And then when we're done, we just text him and say we're done, and he would disconnect the Zoom meeting. So he said he can do it with just us.
Sounds good.
It's whatever you guys are comfortable with.
Is that legit legally?
Yeah, that is.
Okay. I say we do that. I make a motion. We go to have a meeting on next Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay. What time?
6.
6 o'clock?
6. So I got a motion. Go ahead.
I'll second it, Dave.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, Don, you can put the notices out for us.
Yes, I'll take care of it.
Henry, can you have the employee come in and be there next Wednesday at 6?
I can set it up, yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. The only other thing I had was, go ahead.
Is that something that Dawn should be at, being the supervisor, or?
I think so.
You all right there, Dawn?
Yeah, the input from both would be good.
Yeah.
Don's the one's got to work with him daily.
The only other thing I have, Don, do you belong to AIM?
Yes,
Okay. They haven't got a payment this year, at least for me. Did they have one from you?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, normally the town pays for it each year. It's $100. I'd ask that you make the payment for us.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Is that the one where you go to the school, or is that separate, Mark?
It's a seminar in June that you go to, a 2-day seminar.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Henry?
I don't have anything else besides I'm not going on EMS runs anymore. And you do not want to have that damn test done. I'll guarantee you that.
I thought it come back, we need to retest.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen. I won't tell you what Gary said after he had his done, but he thought he out a different orifice of his body.
Pretty much feels like they're sticking a cotton swab through your nose to your brain, because that's
They shove it up there as far as they can, and then to add pleasure, they twist it around. My eyes watered from Indianapolis to 3.
He told me it was the size of a broom.
It felt even bigger than that.
Oh.
What we got, Don?
Yeah,
I don't have anything
it's
good.
worse than any flu swab.
We got Don brought up earlier to me that we decided that Stephen Davis could buy that dump truck, but I don't think he can get anything done at the license branch, can he?
No, they're not open.
The bill of sale.
Yeah, I said, that's how you want to handle it.
Can we put together a bill of sale or something so he can at least take it?
Well, I have a title, but the title doesn't match the numbers that people have given me. So, Henry, you need to look at that title.
Okay, I'll do that Friday. I'm off tomorrow.
Okay.
He's just kind of anxious to take it, I think. So
Hey, we're anxious to give it to him.
yeah, I want it out of my parking lot.
There you go.
Once we figure the title out, all it takes is a bill of sale, that the date that he bought it, and that he needs to show paperwork wise, if he gets pulled over, that he has insurance on it, and then he can drive it and get it out of the town property.
Okay.
You said, Henry, that Integrity Steel's closed now?
Now they open back up
Okay.
just to the trucks. The public's not allowed on the property.
Okay. What else do you have, Don?
That's it.
Any
One more
miscellaneous?
thing.
What's that?
When Pettis come up to haul off the vehicles from Geiske property, when we started on the Willie property to get it cleaned up, they said that they would clean it up, but wouldn't give down any money. Pettis did. Now they're so slow, they want to buy the vehicles off the property and clean it up now. And to get started on it because they're going to have to lay their employees off.
I don't think we could say that Bill Willie's had a chance to get his stuff off with all this going on, though, do we?
Well, that's what I thought. I told him I'd bring it up.
I mean, it's whatever you guys think, but he hadn't had any. What do you think, Don?
Well, based on what we told him, we wanted stuff off there by April 1st, but then you've got this virus issue, so I think you're going to have to work with him now.
Yeah.
I say we start moving on getting Pettit out there, give Willie a call, see what he wants to do, pull aside the stuff he wants, and have Pettit get that crap out of there. Otherwise, we're going to be, he'll keep his people employed.
Yeah.
We'll get some. We'll have to just push Willie. I mean, we've been under his gun for 2 years.
Well, it's after April 1st, if that's what we told him.
Yep.
And it's outside things he could have taken easily.
Yep.
I mean,
I can get that stove that he wants and that wheelchair he wants out of there by the end of the week.
Isn't there a Coke sign or something he wants?
I haven't heard that, but
Yeah, there's some Coke sign. It was talked about a couple years ago. I
Well,
make a motion we get Pettit to get in there and get on it.
depending on what day it is, I mean, they change on what they want. So I'll see his son. I'll tell him he better get stuff marked because we're going to start cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That work?
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Henry, are we going to move forward?
Well, I'll get a hold of Pettis and let them know. Craney never did get back with us. So, but Pettis does want the vehicles. And so, yeah, I'll get hold of them.
There's another guy in town, Henry, that mentioned to me a Hawkersmith has some stuff piled around buildings, and
That's one of them that we went and visited that we talked about the first of the meeting.
okay.
He's clear to get it all hauled out and get it cleaned up. Geiske, Dice, and then the guy that's got Van Dyke's property. They've all been talked to and started.
Okay. Any miscellaneous?
Johnson?
Go ahead.
Is that the place over on Johnson, Henry?
Johnson. No.
Johnson Street?
Johnson.
On Johnson Street. you
Johnson.
talked about.
I haven't heard anything on Johnson for a while. The big red house? Or no, that's Fletcher. Sorry.
that's Fletcher.
Which one on Johnson, Don?
It would, did you say you talked to Guy that lived over here, lives over here on the corner,
Yeah,
Van Dyne.
North Street and,
that's Broadway and Patterson.
okay, and what's his name?
It's Carrie.
Oh,
I can't think of what.
who owns the property?
Oh, Van Dyne.
Okay. He
Oh,
owns the
that
house over on Johnson Street where his
So daughter and
daughter or son-in-law or son lives. But that's
Yeah.
over there too.
okay, I can go by and get him fired up.
I noticed today that Harry Justice's old house has got the windows boarded up on it now. Does anybody know anything about that one?
The guy that owns it, I think it's his grandson. He's slowly trying to get it fixed up and taken care of. It was mowed today. I noticed that when I was out walking with Annabelle.
They took down part of the lean-to in the alley.
But
it's just
they're
backed up long.
trying to get it taken care of.
Okay. I just didn't know, since they boarded it up, if they were planning on tearing it down or
No,
working on it or what.
they're working on it. They're
Okay,
working on it to sell.
All right, sounds good.
Any miscellaneous or anything? Well, we're done, aren't we?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Night, folks.
Good night.
All right.